So it's officially been 1 year since I got my Mustang back from the auction, and this was a car that I owned 10 years ago. If you're new to the channel, I'll put links in that description. But it's turning a nice time of year, October. We really like this time of year, and just enjoy going around and seeing all the Halloween stuff and decorations. And there were some pretty funny ones that people in our neighborhood are doing with these skeletons that are hanging from wires and trying to climb up on things. And one house that we always go by has these gigantic spiders all over their house. And so we really like to go around and see when they put all these out. It's a lot of fun. So just did a little driving around the neighborhood, and then as we go through all the department stores and everything, it's fun to see the reaction of our little girl, and she's now starting to get a little scared of things. You may have seen in the other video she didn't really faze her, but now she's starting to get a little worried when she sees stuff like this, so it's kind of funny. But not trying to scare her too bad. So you may have seen I posted on the channel a Halloween book that I wrote for my daughter, and decided to narrate that. So that's up on the channel if you're interested in seeing that. And then I had a day off, so I decided to take the Mach 1. I haven't driven it for too long, and went to go get a haircut. But anyway, here's a nice shot of it rolling out. It's always fun to get into the different Mustangs because they are different. The 01 GT has brown interior. This one's the Mach 1 with its specific gauges and things. So it's kind of fun just to enjoy the differences between them. And the Mach 1 by far is my loudest car, SLP Loudmouth Off-Road X. Good sound. Now, for my last haircut, I got quite the hack job. The guy started basically shaving the side of my head, so I basically told him to stop. I waited for it to grow back till it was about normal, and then today went in and got more of a normal haircut to even it back out. Then stopped by Carl's Jr. I really like eating there, as you've probably seen. Spicy chickens are always good. You just got to make sure they're soft and not stale. And the Famous Star, they had a $1.50 thing. Now it's up to $2, but still a good deal. Nice hamburger. Now, I don't know what the problem is here. You may have remembered my last video. Somebody had hit this sign here, and then the next thing we know, it looks like this rock's moved out of the way. Maybe it was for helping to put the sign back up, but it's a weird area there. And I'm really enjoying the GT with its bullet wheels on it. And so I think it looks really good, the white contrasting with the darker gray. So really happy how that's turning out, enjoying the car. And as I'm driving it to work and parked and sitting on brake, I was noticing that there's this little green light is what it looked like in the, near the full symbol. But I turn on the headlights, it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with the lighting. I think it's actually sun coming through the dashboard and lighting up the back of the instrument gauge or something weird. Because it seems to change places too. Now it was on like the 3/4 mark, so maybe it's my new fuel indicator or something like that. But anyway, I thought that was strange. And just enjoying this time of year. The weather's getting cooler, but it's not freezing yet, so we can still go on a lot of walks. So with this day off, I enjoyed a nice morning walk with the dog. And they're doing a lot of construction out in our neighborhood, so it's kind of fun to see bulldozers and all kinds of equipment up on the tops of the hills digging things up. And so I was joking that this was digging a gravesite for skeletons for Halloween. Anyway, just having some fun with that. So now it was time to move on to the Mach 1. You may have seen months ago I brought in a pair of new motor mounts that I got. I got the Ford OEM ones, and to find those, I think the only place that carried them was Late Model Restoration, but been wanting to do motor mounts on the Mach 1 for quite some time now, and there's never a really convenient time to do it, but now that I had a day off, I decided that I was just going to go ahead and start working on it. So I moved the Cobra out of its parking bay where I had a little more room, and got the Mach 1 all set up. And I do have a full install video on this on the channel. I'll link it in the description if you want to look for it there. But anyway, basically just supported the engine, dropped the K-member down a little bit, because on the 32 valve, it's a lot more of a tight fit. The 2 valve seems like you'd just be able to lift the engine up a little more. And it's funny when the engine's out of the car how easy it is just to put new motor mounts on. So if you ever do have your engine pulled or want to pull your engine, and I have videos for that too, but just make sure that you throw a new pair of motor mounts on there. It never hurts. A lot of people ask which ones to go with. I've installed some solid motor mounts. Didn't really like those. Those are on my cousin Zach's Bullet. So I'm recommending just regular OEM ones. A lot of people don't like the poly ones either, from what I've heard. So you can see the motor mount here, how cracked it was in the middle. So definitely a good thing to switch out, and I'm glad that I did the repair. I did have a little coolant leak in it, and on the coolant crossover, if you're familiar with the 32 valve cars, you got to undo this thing, and this thing even snapped. So now I have a little piece down in there I'll have to fish out. So I'd use one of the black hardened extensions if you're going to use it to break that thing loose, and make sure you use heat because these things don't like to come off at all. Usually you just strip it out. So then my friend Patrick came back. He lives in Detroit and then also here. So when he comes back here for the winter where it's a little more of a mild winter, he has his Cobras and everything here. He just picked up another really nice Cobra back east. So here's a few pictures of his car, silver metallic, 03, beautiful car. Original owner is who he got it from, and all the certificates, everything has the original wheels, which he actually took off, and he's going to preserve those. He put on a pair of the FR500s. Pretty minor under the hood. It's just a pulley and some exhaust and a tune, so it's kind of nice to get it in that way. Looks really good with the FR500s, and he has the same Eibach lowering springs that we installed on the channel on his other car, so he likes how that all turned out. He did the Cobra stainless steel inserts in the bumper. It looks really nice. And by comparison, this was another car he was looking at with fully built E85 VMP car, and so he was asking me which one to buy, and out of the two, it's a hard decision, but ultimately he decided to go with the stock one. And that can be a hard decision. It really depends on the car, how it was built, how it was operated after that. Did they really beat on it? Are they selling it because they lost compression in the cylinder? There's just a lot of question marks. And for me, I personally think the better of the two would be to get the one that was the original owner, never been messed with, and having him be the one to do any of the modifications. But anyway, it's all about dollars and money and what's important to you. But he had an Autometer narrow band gauge that was giving him some trouble, and I'm not a real big fan of the narrow band. It's not giving you very good information. It taps into the O2 sensor. I'll get into that in a minute, but I also found a little bit of leaking coolant here, so we were just kind of diagnosing that and figuring out what is needed. But anyway, here's the narrow band. So instead of being its own sensor, what they do is they chop into the O2 sensor, and whoever installed this, I was very upset because they tapped into the engine harness, so on the other side of the O2 sensor, so I wouldn't want to be messing with main harnesses on the car. If you tap into the O2 sensor itself, anything goes wrong, you just get a new O2 sensor. But you can see they used one of those vampire crimp attachments and then a spade, so I really wasn't happy about that. So it's nice to have everything kind of put away. I'm trying to organize the garage again now, move cars back over to where I like having them parked. And whenever I do a project, the toolbox gets pretty messy, so I'll do a little organizing today and clean a few things up. Anyway, so thanks for watching. I'll keep you updated on the channel, and as projects keep going on, I'll definitely keep uploading those for you. So thanks for watching.